Hi, my name is Wiseman Somba, and I would love to welcome you to my YouTube channel. And without any waste of time, I would love to us to have a Bible study. I want us to have a Bible study for the next 66 weeks. I will be having a specific book, an overview of the Bible, which each and every specific book of the Bible, beginning with New Testament to then go back to Old Testament, from the book of Matthew chronologically to the book of Revelation, and from the book of Genesis and to the book of Malachi. So today I just want to have a broad overview of the entire Bible. So the Bible is written by different authors and of course inspired by the same spirit. So I just want us to have a picture of the entire Bible, how it is divided and whatnot. Then from next week we'll have more deeper understanding with each and every book, focusing on it. So for today, I want us to have an overview of the entire Bible. The Bible is divided into two sections, and we have our Old Testament and we have our New Testament. And the entire Bible is consisting of 66 books in total. And the Old Testament has about 39 books, and the New Testament have 27 books. And Old Testament is divided into five parts. It's divided into five parts. We have our first part, which is the Pentateuch or the books of the law. Refer to call it Torah. Torah. So the books of the law were written by Moses and writing for us to give us a picture on how God initiated the relationship with Israelites and and how he brought a law about. So we see that he gave them a law after the deliverance from slavery in Egypt, so that he gave them the law to follow on how to live and on how to relate with him in the land of Canaan. So from there we have our historical books. Our historical books from the books of the law are the first five books in the Bible, from Genesis to Deuteronomy. Then after that, we have historical books. Historical books relates to us on how Israelites related with God through the law that God gave them. So whether Israelites failed or were successful to meet the standards of God with regard to the law that God has given them. So the books of history or the historical books, it begins from the book of Joshua to the book of Esther. So they relate to us how Israelites related with God. Then from there we have now our other part, which is the book of poetry, and the books of poetry begin from the book of Job, and the books of the songs of Solomon and Psalms. Others refer Psalms as as the book of wisdom. Then after that we have the prophet parts, and it consists with major and minor prophets. So now the major prophets we is not is based on quantity of their writings. That's how they have been distinguished. So now our major prophets, we have our Isaiah, we have our Jeremiah, we have our Ezekiel, we have our Daniel. So they are the major prophets because they wrote a large quantity of the Bible, and their books consist of large writings. So now after them we have our minor prophets, and they were prophesying regarding the hope that was about to come, because now remember God gave them a law in the books of the law, and in the books of history the Bible record on historical basis on how Israelites failed to relate with God through the law, because no one will be able to keep the law. So now the nation of Israel was doomed, and it was hopeless, hoping it will die, because the law was saying it's either you obey, then you are successful, you are blessed, or you don't obey, then you die and suffer. So the nation of Israel was hopeless and it was doomed. It felt like there is no hope for it. until the books of the prophets. Then the prophets started to prophesy about the coming king, started to prophesy about something that is going to come as then to bring redemption for the nation. They started to prophesy about the future coming king that will rule forever, that has the scepter of rulership in his hand. They started to prophesy that from the lineage of David there is a king that will rule and that has kingship for eternity. So that was the only hope for Israel. That was the only hope for the nation of Israel. So that's an overview of the entire Old Testament. It ends with on Malachi. So the books of the Old Testament ended in the book of Malachi when the nation of Israel was in the exile, according to the prophecy of Jeremiah, because Jeremiah prophesied that these people are going to exile if they don't repent, and they fail to repent, then they went to exile. So now the Old Testament ended without hope for the nation of Israel, ended without a solution for the nation of Israel. So that's the first part on the overview of Old Testament. Thank you.